Hey vinyl community, Jeff back again. Time for another edition of my vinyl collection. So we're looking at various bands at various times, and let's jump into this one today. We're looking at Queensryche. This is my Queensryche vinyl collection. So let's get right into this. Everybody knows who Queensryche is. Come on, great band. Queensryche, the first EP, got a gold stamp promo, one of the OG copies here. This is where it all started. Love this album. Used to air sing and air guitar to this one all the time with my best friend back in the day. Absolutely phenomenal. Great opening by a band. Followed by The Warning, which I will have to admit when it first came out, it was a bit different than the first one, and it took me a while to get used to. They weren't quite as, it just sounded a little different. Of course, we've grown to love it, but when it first came out, I was kind of like, Took a little bit of time. But yeah, that's, anyway, that's another OG copy. I don't think I have many of these that are newer. Rage for Order, very much different than the last album, but again, it grew on us after a while. Very experimental at times. Great stuff. But I remember first seeing I'm Gonna Get Close to You, the video. I'm like, what? That's like so different than Queensryche. Anyway, weird stuff. Up next, of course, the pivotal Operation Mindcrime, the one that really put them on the charts, probably their biggest and best seller, and everybody's like, do another one of those, do another one of those. So this is probably their most popular, and it's a concept album. It tells a story. There was a live version and a story and videos and all kinds of things in concert for that. So great stuff there. And of course, Empire, which I got for Christmas. So I showed this not too long ago when I showed my Christmas present. So this is really when it hit the radio with, Jet City Woman, Silent Lucidity, all those, big hits that went on from this one. Yeah, great album. And had some pretty major hits on it that are still played on the radio today. Promised Land. This one, again, slight change in style when it first came out. Took me a little bit of time to get used to it, but ultimately did, and found it to be a very cool album. There you go. Okay, and then we finally got Operation Mindcrime 2, and Operation Mindcrime 2 was an attempt to recapture the Operation Mindcrime 1 feeling and storyline, and to a degree it was okay. Kind of came back to an original sound, but didn't quite reach for the as much as the first album did. Then you take both of them together and you put them out as a live, do the whole thing in concert with actors and guest singers, and Ronnie James Dio is on here, and you perform the entire storyline of 1 and 2, Mindcrime at the Moor, and there you go. And this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 album vinyl set for that. All right, then you got the band kind of inner turmoil, breaking up, splitting up, and you got Jeff Tate going off, doing his version of Queensryche and giving the other guys in the Queensryche band the big FU to their face. And he put out this album with a bunch of other musicians, lots of famous people on here that worked along with him. Rudy Sarzo, Simon Wright on drums. I mean, it's got a who's who of so many great musicians. We got Ty Tabor from King's X at times. Yeah, the list goes on. Just so many people that helped. And basically, this is just Jeff Tate forming a band to do songs that sounded. Now, there were quite a few other albums before we got to this, but most of those I do not believe are on vinyl. So we're going to jump right into this one. And that's his attempt. And then, of course, that was reissued not too long ago as a double record set. It has some additional mixes and some additional re-recorded songs on here that were on, I think, the original CD, but not on the original album. So this has been reissued in multiple colors, and I picked up a silver copy when the price dropped on that one. So I'll probably get rid of the original edition. Then the band turns around and puts out a self-titled album just called Queensryche, and they come back with a new singer. And of course, this is where the band has continued on with Todd on vocals, continuing in the somewhat of a traditional Queensryche sound, following with The Verdict, which was decent follow-up. People don't tend to like this one quite as much, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid album there. And then we got Condition Human, was the follow-up to that. Another great album. And then the most recent one, Digital Noise Alliance. I was trying to see, do I have a color or is it just black, I think. most recent, I think, just a little over a year ago or so. And again, they've continued on with 4 very solid albums with the new vocalist. And then, of course, Jeff Tate has continued on doing solo stuff and or band stuff with like other, as a vocalist for other bands, and doing some things and doing some touring and stuff. Great stuff. But that's it. My Queensryche vinyl collection. A couple holes in there. A couple things that haven't been released on vinyl. Maybe one day. And then we'll go from there and hopefully fill in the rest of the gaps. Thanks a lot for watching. Rock on and rock hard.